Welcome back to the Time Travelers Talk Show. I'm Adam West, your host. Today's historical figures that we have brought from the past into the present are Paul Revere, George Washington, Lord Cornwallis, and King George III. We have disguised them as normal boys to protect their likeness. So introducing Paul Revere. So tell me, Paul, how are you feeling today?
It's good. I'm still adjusting to the future.
That's good to hear, Paul, but we are pressed for time today, and I want to make sure that all of our questions are answered, and that the viewers go home with a better understanding of your role in the revolution.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Okay, a lot of people are giving you a lot of credit for your famous midnight ride. Not many people even know the names or give credit to the other two men. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel the story of my ride was more of a collaboration of all the rides together. And they just put me in as the main figure because I was the most notable one at the time.
How did the taxes imposed by the British affect you, and how did you feel about it?
Well, they drastically reduced my business to other countries where people actually use silver. They don't use a bunch of the colonies. And it really taxed heavily on my work, and I felt that the British did not deserve it because they haven't done anything for me.
Well, Paul, it was great to have you here, but we still have 3 more guests, and I'm going to have to send you back now.
Okay, bye.
Now we welcome King George III.
Ooh, silence, peasant.
Many people hold you responsible as the person who caused the Revolutionary War, with tyrannical taxes that you imposed. Do you disagree?
I do not agree that I caused the Revolutionary War with my taxes alone. It was Parliament that imposed the taxes on the colonies, not me. However, I did declare the colonies in a state of rebellion after I was presented with your Declaration of Independence. I never really recognized the independence of the colonies, and some even went as far as to say that I wanted to keep the colonies at war to break their spirits.
How did you feel after finding out that Cornwallis had surrendered?
I was infuriated by the idea that the colonies were independent. But after a while, I realized that they were still going to have major influences on our economy, with all the money that they owed us for the war. I also realized that having colonies outside the mainland was anti-economic because it took more money to run them than we made off of taxation and profits from their labors.
But how did the war affect your status as King of Britain?
The war did not have any serious repercussions on my kingship. In fact, it made loyalists in the colonies even more loyal, as well as influencing patriotism in England. It caused many colonists to resent or even hate me, but that did not have any real influences on my kingship.
Thank you for your time. And now a word from our sponsors.
How will I ever survive the Russians?
Here, drink this.
Wow! What is it? Oh, I feel different. I feel like I could start a revolution!
Lemonade, a great drink for when you need a boost and life isn't giving it to you. Now bought in simple Soviet Russian stores. Lemonade, even the celebrities drink it.
I'm Joseph Stalin. Leninade made me the great leader that I am today. Don't you want to be cool like me?
Lemonade is a great drink, but it may cause blindness, hearing loss, vomit, suicidal thoughts, chapped lips, diarrhea, and drowsiness. Look out.
Wow, that lemonade sure looks delicious. And now here's Lord Cornwallis.
Boo!
How do you feel about the loss at the Battle of Yorktown?
I feel that we had no choice to surrender because the French fleet had cut off our reinforcements from the sea, and George Washington had cut off our escape routes on land.
Is there anything you feel you could have done to prevent that?
I feel if we hadn't poisoned the Indians, we could have kept our relationship strong and they could have helped us.
Are there any last words you would have said to the colonists?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Thank you. Now introducing George Washington. Hello. Some people believe that the attack on Christmas morning was a cheap and dirty move. What do you think about that?
I think that whenever in wartime you are at a disadvantage, you need to take any opportunities you can to attack the enemy.
Okay, how do you feel about the loss at Bunker Hill?
I feel that it was a moral victory and that even though we lost, we killed so many British troops.
And you won at Yorktown. How do you feel about that?
I feel that it was a great battle and that we could not have done it without the aid of the French.
And the Treaty of Paris. What would you change about that if you could?
I feel that the Treaty of Paris was good, but I would have liked if the British would have cleared our debts from the war.
Okay, thank you. And that's all we have. Thank you for watching. Are Paul Revere, George Washington, Lord Cornwallis. That's great.
I feel that we were torn like rats, and that...
So how'd you feel about the loss at the Battle of Saratoga?
I feel that we had no choice to surrender because of the French fleet blocking off...
It's a battle.
How do you feel about the Battle of Yorktown?
I feel that we had...
Okay. Now introducing George Washington.